heart is full of hate. He butthurts, cries, and a dark shadow falls over this troll. From the ashes of a once great fandom has risen a meme, an LOL that must be liked. We look to the airwaves for a vindicator, someone to strike fear in the dark basement of the parents who created him. The battle between fan and smark has begun. With a head on his shoulders stands the smart fan, a speaker of truths, with a voice of silence, and a radio show of justice. This is Ring Rust.
So, technically we do have a show. I do have a show I should preview. I'm just really not going to preview it. It's this coming week's episode of Impact, which is the Sacrifice episode. So, I'll just run that down. I'm not necessarily going to really go to a lot of detail to preview it, just not like for a pay-per-view or anything. So, I'm just going to say these are the matches they have scheduled, and go watch it if you want to. But first off, we have some rather unfortunate news. It is with deep sadness to inform you today, as in yesterday it was posted on China's official Facebook page, that we lost a true icon, a real-life superhero, Joni Laurer, a.k.a. China, the ninth wonder of the world, has passed away. She will live forever in the memories of her millions of fans and all of us that loved her. And that's Felix from Team China, from therealchina.com. I'm sure you've heard by now that it's happened. It's only happened in the past couple of days, so it's gotten all around the world by now. And as noted, TMZ reported that police are investigating China's death as a possible overdose. Friends of China's had apparently been discussing a possible intervention recently. The former WWE Intercontinental Champion was found dead at home on Wednesday. She was 45. You're listening to Ring Rust REDUX on Jabronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust. So, the next bit of sad news kind of happened last week, but unfortunately I was doing the WrestleMania and TakeOver reviews, so I didn't really end up having time to cover this, but the Asbury Park Press reports that the death of Extreme Championship Wrestling original Balls Mahoney on August 12th isn't considered suspicious by police. It was also noted that it could take considerable more time before the exact cause of death is known. Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office spokesperson Charles Weber said the cause of death will be determined by the medical examiner, and it usually takes a few months for the studies and reports to be returned. As noted, Mahoney passed away at the age of 44 on April 12th, just one day after his birthday. Medics responded to a call from his home, but his obituary says he passed away at Jersey Shore University Medical Center in Neptune City. The former ECW World Tag Team Champion was survived by his mother Suzanne, his partner of 13 years Gail, and their son Christopher. Memorial service will be held from 2 to 6 p.m. on April 3rd at the O'Brien Funeral Home in Wall, New Jersey. A GoFundMe page was set up to help with expenses, and the link is posted on the CHMR's Ring Rust page. Feel free to go on over there and have a look. You're listening to Ring Rust REDUX on Jabronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust on 3.5 CHMR FM. If you want to follow along with the story I'm reading, by all means, pop on over to the CHMR's Ring Rust Facebook page. Click on like if you haven't already. And scroll on down to something I was posted a while ago. A group that's a favorite to take control of Impact Wrestling is REDUX, I think, I don't know, which former wrestlers Ron and Don Harris, formerly known as 8-Ball and Skull, are involved with as main officers. The Harris twins, who have worked with WWE, the original ECW, WCW, and TNA Wrestling, have been helping with Dixieland production for several months now. REDUX is actually helping to fund the company as they put up money for the last set of TNA Impact Wrestling tapings, and probably will do the same for the tapings that begin later this year. It was noted by sources that Dixie Carter, the president of TNA Wrestling, has other deals she's working on, but word is that the other people she's talking to don't like her terms. Dixie reportedly wants to retain control of the company for 51% of ownership. Dixie's trying to make money on the deal and still own a majority of the company, which is going to be hard to do. As noted, the feeling is that something is going to happen soon, as the company's essentially out of money, and we'll keep you updated on any developments. Now, the thing about that is, she's running a business. Businesses like making money, and people who run businesses also like making money from the business. So she's trying to make money. You can point your finger and laugh and say, any day now TNA is going out of business. You or someone like you has been saying that for the past 15 years, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'd stop holding my breath if I were you. Just FYI. They probably aren't going anywhere. Even if it is completely taken over by someone else, then so be it. But the company itself will probably still be in existence in some way, shape, or form. Under a different name, possibly, I don't know, but it'll still be kicking around. So you can continue calling TNA a failure all you want, while you're continuing to not watch it even once. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV. Caught with your pants down. If you want to follow along the story I'm about to read, it's not quite as easy when I'm doing the Friday morning markout, because I actually post articles rather than just posting the text, because then you can just scroll down when you see the title of the article on the Friday morning markout. But oh well. Want to follow along with this story? Pop on over to the CHMR's Ring Rust page, click on link if you haven't already, and scroll on down to the story about Natalya, who announced at Raw in London, England, that she'll get her WWE Women's Championship shot against the champion Charlotte at the May 1st WWE Payback pay-per-view on the WWE Network. WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart will be in Natalya's corner, and WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair will, of course, be in his daughter's corner. Because, you know, why wouldn't he? Because he's been there, and he's getting a paycheck, and how many ex-wives has he got? Hashtag alimony. You're listening to CHMR 93.5 FM, Alliance 787, Cable 942, and via streaming audio at www.chmr.ca. Your only alternative in St. John's.
I can't stop. Marge, it takes two to lie, one to lie and one to listen.
What does that mean?
This is Fanboy Mark Cibroni. You are listening to Ring Rust. Oh, not a 3.5 CHMR FM. Bray Wyatt suffered a calf injury in the main event of the April 14th WWE Live event in Milan, Italy, against World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. McMahonopoulos has been keeping everything quiet, but word going around the current Europe tour is that Wyatt actually suffered a pulled muscle, and he'll be out of action for 4 to 6 weeks. This indicates that the severity of the injury isn't as bad as originally thought, and Bray could be back in time for the May 22nd Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Hope he's not seriously injured. I mean, I do enjoy the character. He could, of course, do this. Oh God, how hilarious would it be if he came out on Zeb Coulter's scooter. Because Zeb Coulter was hurt a while back, and he used a scooter, and he had it all decorated up. And I don't think it would really, character-wise, it wouldn't really work. It would be kind of funny, I guess, to see it. It's like, he's got a scooter. It's not really working for him, though, is it? That's an idea, too, I suppose. He can get one of the Wyatt family to pull him around in a rickshaw. That would be kind of Bray Wyatt-esque. Or carry him on his back. Or, make one of those sedan sort of thrones out of the rocking chair, I guess. I don't know. Whatever happens, though. The fact that he's going to be gone for a little while, that's sad but true. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkGibroni.
and subscribe to Jabronology TV. YouTube.com/fanboy Mark Jabroni. Now, time for this week's Macho Fact. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get away from Randy Savage. And the Macho Man is secretly the president of the Ninja Army.
You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust on 3.5 CHMR FM. So, back to some wrestling news. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Elias Sampson, and Eva Marie versus NXT Women's Champion Asuka will take place on next Wednesday's episode of NXT. And as well, main roster stars Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy, and Apollo Crews may have worked their last NXT matches on this week's episode. Crews lost to Samoa Joe in the main event. More on Samoa Joe a little bit later, because something kind of important happened. While Enzo and Cass lost to the NXT Tag Team Champions, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, the American Alphas, in the opener. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Next Tuesday's episode of Impact Wrestling will be the annual TNA Sacrifice episode. Following matches have been announced. Ethan Carter III will be taking on Mike Bennett in a new DQ match. Bram will be taking on the King of the Mountain, Eric Young. And Tyrus will be challenging the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. As well as for the Tag Team Championships, The Decay will be taking on Beer Money.
You there!
What's your story?
I'm Ernie Devlin, and I don't question it.
Oh, I like that. Don't budge. I'm taking your mind. Mind encryption, perhaps? I'll make you fun size.
Yeah, they said booty. So, anyway, this is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust. So I mentioned a little bit earlier that there was something to be said about Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe defeated Finn Balor to capture the NXT Championship at a live event Thursday night in Lowell, Massachusetts. WWE.com is confirmed. Joe's victory put an end to Balor's record-breaking reign as champion. The Demon won the title on July 4th, 2015, and held it for 292 days, surpassing the mark set by Neville in 2014. Now that the Samoan submission machine has finally snared NXT's top prize, what will the Destroyer have in store for anyone who dares to step up and challenge him? How will Finn Balor handle the setback? Find out by tuning in to NXT Wednesdays at 8/7 Central, only on the WWE Network, and stick with WWE.com for complete coverage of this developing story, including photos and video of the Destroyer.
Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni, and subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboy Mark Jabroni.
This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. Oh, not at all. Oh, love of God. If I can have your attention, please. I just received an email from the ridiculous Ring Rust general manager. How does he keep... I keep editing him out of my spam folder. I guess he must keep getting a new email address, which somehow also gets hooked up to this computer to send that notification, but who am I to question the logic? Hey, did you hear about Chrissy Hemme? Why don't you read the story about her and... Well, you know what? I'm going to do one better. I'm going to consult the Magic Smart Ball that I got from ProWrestlingCrate.com a few months ago. The first package I got, actually, is one of the things that helped me decide I want to continue getting it. So, Magic Smart Ball. That's the sound of me shaking it. Should I read this story I have in front of me about Chrissy Hemme? Face turn. Okay, I guess that means yes. Chrissy Hemme announced on Twitter that she's officially finished with Impact Wrestling. She's worked as an in-ring talent, a backstage interviewer, and had a role in the TNA creative team since first signing with the company back in April 2006, specializing in the TNA knockouts. My future ex-wife number 10, who gave birth on January 2015, reportedly gave notice to Dixieland in May of 2015 that she was leaving to work a, quote, great job, unquote, outside of professional wrestling. She did some angles last summer and ring announcing earlier this year, but it appears she's now done. She tweeted the following, thanking TNA and John Gabrick. Anyway, so thankful for wrestling and TNA and at TNA Wrestling, especially at John Gabrick, for the inspiration towards my future. Hashtag following my dream, hashtag next chapter. So I guess she just went and took a walk. I don't just have the good jokes.
That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.